We're chasing freedom in our lives. No, not a sleeveless Abraham Lincoln holding 2 machine guns as a bald eagle and fireworks fly in the background freedom. We're after freedom of thought, expression, and perspective. Freedom from the rat race and financial stress. Freedom in how we spend our time. Freedom from fatigue and poor health. Freedom to explore and learn from others. Freedom to have open and honest discussions about difficult issues. Freedom to be better fathers and husbands, and freedom from ignorance. Along the journey of freedom, we fail often. We fail to live up to the standard we have set for ourselves. We fail in our roles as fathers, spouses, friends, and coworkers. Our podcast is designed to build a community of those who are seeking their freedom and know there will be struggles and victories along the way. Join us as we interact with high achievers from all walks of life and discuss topics we feel are relevant to the pursuit. By no means do we have it all figured out, but we're open and committed to learning along the path to freedom. And with that, what's going on, fellas?
We're just going to sit here and listen to you the rest of the way.
Just my voice just serenading you
poetically. Put us to sleep a second ago. Love that, man. And I know you spend a lot of time. We're not going to take any credit for that. You spend a lot of time, thinking about that. And I think it speaks directly to who we are as a show. So, proud of it.
I think, when we started this, we had an idea what we wanted to be, but I don't think anything describes what our mission is in starting this podcast better than what Ben just read.
Right.
It's about freedom. And like you said, it's not that stereotypical, patriotic freedom, which is incredible, and I'm not downplaying that, but freedom from the prison that we put ourselves in. The rat race, the endless chase of material possessions that we think are going to fulfill a gap. It's the freedom to love those that we want to love, how we want to love them, when we want to love them, and do the things that we love. Yeah. And that's our goal here, is to talk through those, give you guys resources, bring on guests that can speak to that.
Yeah.
Like Ben said, we're not experts.
Put a smile on my face. How big that is,
real.
Man.
This is real.
Just to smile.
But let's go. So we're a year old, man.
No, I know we're a year old.
If you're sitting there wondering what in the world is going on right now, we are 1 year. The podcast is a year old. We started this thing back in March of 2020. Pandemic had just hit. Or actually, it might have been our first episode, I think, released right before all the lockdowns went on.
Yeah.
And I just think back to the last year where we were, literally in Darren's upstairs.
And you better not say anything bad about the house. I'll tell Tiffany's listening.
No, the house was great, and the hosts were amazing. But it's not the ideal place to host a podcast.
You had the landscapers out in the back. You had everything on the kids.
And remember, the first couple of times to start, we had to go to Tyler's house up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And his 4 kids are running in and out.
Banging on the
doors.
No,
I mean,
man.
It was...
How many COVID rules did you guys break?
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a single COVID rule, we broke it.
For sure.
They said physically distance and mask up and don't leave your house for 2 weeks, and we did none of that.
Well, and it was like, even when Darren got it, you and I went to a house together, sitting next to each other.
Honestly, when I heard Darren got it, I was like, wait, so how many days is that going to delay our next recording?
Yeah. Man, how are you doing?
Man, are you going to be okay?
Get over it. I know you're at risk with your age, but I don't care. But seriously, I mean... Just to think back.
Now, have you ever thought about this, though? How many businesses start in the heart of COVID? Or started in the heart of COVID? We will never forget how this podcast came about, based on the fact that this podcast started in the heart of COVID.
Yeah.
And it was hard to get around. Everything was shut down. We were just winging it. It was a startup for us. We're just winging it.
Newsflash, we're still winging it.
I think we're past that point. I think we're getting past that point. But It was, man. It was a trying time because we had to balance. We were balancing work, family, the unknowns, the uncertainties, the financial situations, but figured out a way to be consistent, man. And that's I'm proud of that, man.
Yeah.
Really am.
Yeah, I'll say